Welcome back on the tee. I'm Tim Darren for Mike Rickard, the hapless hack tonight. I guess I'm hack light. In the pros, Judd Gibb, Jay Horton, and we welcome you back to the Okoboji Grill Studios and 45-cent Wing Wednesday. And we invite you to visit an Okoboji Grill in your area. We have them in Johnston, Pleasant Hill, the south side of Des Moines on Southeast 14th, Ankeny, Ames, Iowa City, Newton, Independence, and the new location in North Liberty. All right, and now,
if you compare yourself to Rickard, you're kind of a pro. Then you're kind of
well, that's true.
If you're kind of
if you've ever played golf, you could be considered a pro compared to Rickard.
He's definitely the hack, and so
yeah.
I mean it's kind of hard to call you a hack
light, but I mean I don't want to impugn you guys' professionalism by even insinuating I'm anywhere near being a professional.
Well, I'm not very good.
I
might be pro-light,
average amateur. And then there's Rickard. There should be a different category for that, actually.
A tennis player.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, hey, we do have a special guest here, and he's had a pretty good couple of weeks here, I'd say. And he is now the Iowa Amateur Champion, and for the second time, and he's Gene Elliott, and joins us on the tee. Gene, congratulations.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Really good, really good. Probably not quite as good as you. You've had a pretty good few weeks here with the winning the amateur division of the Waterloo Open, then winning the Iowa Amateur and qualifying for the U.S. Open in Erin Hills.
Yeah, I guess I can't explain it. I must like the heat or something. But I tell you, after walking 36 holes out in Nebraska City, Nebraska yesterday, I am a whoop puppy today.
Well, you seem to do well after heart procedures. What's the deal with that?
Well, that one I can't explain. Last summer was probably one of the longest summers of my life. I didn't hit a golf ball May, June, July, or August all summer, and really missed tournament golf. But I had to have a procedure done to correct my the heartbeat. I was having some issues between January and May of last year. I was in the hospital 8 times, and my heart would just take off racing. I'd be watching TV. I'd be sound asleep in bed, and my heart would start beating 160 beats a minute, and I had to get to the hospital and get it corrected. And finally, after 8 times, they said, you need to get this fixed, and so. They did a procedure last June, and thank goodness that everything went well, and I haven't had a reoccurrence since. So it's allowed me to go make some birdies now.
Well, you're kind of the Eric Compton then of Iowa. It's great to have you back. Great to have you back playing well. That was a great victory out there at Glen Oaks. Raced out to a big lead and. Kind of got caught in the second round. It sounded like it was a thrilling finish by John Olson there coming down the stretch, who's been playing well all year too. But tell us a little bit about that, winning in a playoff and getting another title out there. Had to be quite a thrill to do it.
Well, it was a huge thrill here at Glen Oaks, my home golf course. I live out here at Glen Oaks, and I started off the tournament pretty fast. I shot 67 the first round, and it actually could have been quite a few better. And then in the second round, I made a triple on the 4th hole, which was my 13th hole, and I figured that pretty much ended my chances, and ended up shooting 75 the second round. And they set the golf course up very hard on the final round, and Glen Oaks got to show its teeth, and I didn't even know I was in the tournament till the 11th hole when I saw a scoreboard, and all of a sudden I went from like 5th place to 2nd place and 2 shots behind, and I said, wow, I still got a chance. And some guys, I needed some help. I didn't do it all on my own. I shot 1 under 70 the last day, and some guys stumbled coming in, and then John Olson, who's a fabulous player, nearly holed his second shot on 18 to win it outright, and ended up making birdie on 18, and we went to a playoff, and fortunately I got through that.
Well, Gene, I was looking at the Iowa Amateur Player of the Year list, and it's kind of an interesting list in that, usually by this time of the year, somebody really, separates themselves. And going through that list right now, in first place, Nate McCoy. In second place, yourself, and then you talked about John Olson, who you were defeated there at the Iowa Amateur. I mean, Nate McCoy's won the dog. We had Nate on a few weeks ago, but he won the Dogwood Invitational. He won the Iowa Masters. You would think, and Jay and I were talking about this, you won the Waterloo Open, you won the Iowa Amateur, and you just qualified for the U.S. Amateur, and here you're 400 points behind Nate.
Well, I wasn't even a picture in the Player of the Year race 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden I'm somewhat in the picture. Nate McCoy is right now. Nate McCoy is one of the best players in the country, and I have no problem. He won the Dogwood Invitational, which you've got college All-Americans there. You've got Walker Cuppers, some guys that have been announced to the team already there, and Nate just fired him down, shooting 65 in the last round, and I couldn't be prouder than of Nate, and it's not to identify the best player in Iowa. It's to identify the best player from Iowa, and I've been a big supporter of that, playing a lot of national golf, and right now Nate McCoy, like I said, one of the best players in the country, and I'm having a good run here in Iowa, and I've played a few national things and done okay, but I haven't won anything nationally, and I've done the math a little bit, and there's an outside chance that I could maybe catch him, but a lot of things that have to fall in place to do that. But usually I get used to being beaten the Player of the Year race by another McCoy, and now I got the son of him beating me in the Player of the Year race. So I got dodged two of them.
Well, Gene, as our guest is Iowa Amateur Champion Gene Elliott, and Gene, as the elder statesman here in the studio, I'd like to know your perspective. Especially you've had a couple, heart procedures, and 49 years old. When you're out there in a situation like you were in at the Iowa Amateur here, coming down to the end, do you feel more or less pressure now at your age? Do you feel like time's running out, or do you a little calmer? You've been through it all. How do you react to that?
I don't feel like time's running out. I've got a lot of experience. I've played this game on many different levels, and you got to play the way that makes you play the best. And lately here, I've somehow figured that out, and I've just been trying to basically stay it on my own way. I've been playing well and putting well, and I can't explain why I've been on this streak the last 3 weeks or so, but when things gel in golf, you got to, like a guy told me once, he says, you got to take that bit and run with it, and I'm running as hard as I can right now at 49.
Well, Aaron Hills, if you had a chance, that's where the U.S. Amateur will be played. Have you had a chance to play up there, or do you know much about it?
I have not. I have not been up there. I've heard a lot about it. I've heard they're going to play the golf course at 7,800 yards, which is way too long for me. But that's got to be one of the longest courses in history of anything. It'll be a real challenge for me, because I don't, these college kids and stuff, they bomb it and they hit it 40, 50 yards by me, and so definitely be the games. That golf course is not up my alley, I can tell you that, if it's 7,800 yards long.
Well, just think Corey Pavin at Shinnecook.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, Gene, congratulations again. A great run, and of course, you're a great champion and a great Iowa Amateur for years, and we wish you the best of luck at the U.S. Amateur.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
You bet. Thanks for coming on. Gene Elliott, Iowa Amateur champion, and great career, and it continues on.
Well, he's a fabulous player. Has been a fabulous player. I mean, like he says, played on all different kinds of levels, and there's no doubt he'll go up there and give it a run up there at USAM. He's not going to roll over for anybody.
And he mentioned Nate McCoy, but Mike McCoy, Nate's father, of course, has also qualified for the U.S. Amateur. And Nate is actually a first alternate, so there's a chance we could have 3 guys in the U.S. Amateur from Iowa.
Well,
we do have Ian Vandersea. Jed Dirksen is,
and Jed's in there.
Yeah, he's in there from his play from last year, and then Nate Dunn from.
So we've got quite a pretty good contingent for Iowa.
Yeah, and Nate could get in as first alternate. I mean, I don't know, depending on how they do that. Not too many people decide not to show up for the U.S. Amateur Championship, but there's a chance he could get in.
There's always a chance. It'd be great to see him get in there and play. Like I said, he has had a great summer, but a lot of people are playing well.
Which is interesting, because 3 years ago, Jay, you and I told anybody that would listen to us that Nate McCoy was going to be he was going to be not only, in our opinion, one of the best players in Iowa. We thought he'd have a chance to do everything that his dad had done. And I, on more than one occasion, remember some of the better amateurs in Iowa looking at us like, "Oh, no way, never. He'll never be that good." And you can even hear, in Gene's voice, he's seen Nate grow up and how impressed he is with how Nate has played, and he deserves to be the Iowa Amateur Player of the Year, to go down there and win that event like that. But usually, in the Iowa Amateur Player of the Year award, by this point in the year, somebody's starting to run away with it. You could have John Olson has had a fantastic year.
John Olson won the Mid-Am, he won the match play, and finished runner-up there at the Iowa Amateur.
Yeah, that would have been if he'd have won the Iowa Am, he'd been the first one in history to ever sweep those.
To do that,
and he still would have.
He still would have been
behind.
He'd
still been behind. So it is what it is. I mean, the way that the points are set up, I think Nate McCoy is playing the best of anybody in the state of Iowa, and I know I sent Nate a text and said that I'm definitely going to need 3 shots per 9 holes the next time I see him, and I might be 4 the way things are going now.
Well, the way he wedges it and putts it, like I said, it's fun to see a light bulb go on to. For him to be able to play well, and watching his dad and watching guys like Gene play, I mean, he's definitely had a lot of good mentors to be able to follow and lead to this success.
Well, it's about that time for Judd Gibbs International Man of Mystery. So when we come back, we're going to be doing that. But Tiger stopped and played at the Atlantic Athletic Club, where the PGA will be held next week on Monday of this week coming up. So if we get a couple seconds after the Man of Mystery contest. I want your early thoughts on maybe the PGA Championship at the Atlanta Athletic Club. But in the meantime, you're on the tee on Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network. We'll be back right after this.